This is Bobby C. out at Citi Field. It's hard to believe, but ace Noah Syndergaard and the Mets were outdueled by a rookie pitcher and an upstart Atlanta Braves lineup filled with rookies. All the buzz around baseball centering around a 20-year-old Venezuelan rookie named Ronald Acuna Jr., who had 2 hits in this game, including a big one in the first inning as the Braves score 3 against Noah Syndergaard. Thoughts on Noah Syndergaard and being able to hit a quality pitcher like him?
Bueno, de verdad que él es un pitcher increíble.
Incredible pitcher and a great ball player, and every time I go out in the field, I try to give him my best effort, and fortunately tonight we were able to pull off the win.
You put Acuna in there with Albies and all those guys, and then Freeman can just flat out hit. I don't care who you are pitching. They're pretty good, and they play the game the right way. They're a really good team.
Atlanta starter rookie Mike Soroka grew up idolizing Noah Syndergaard. He got a chance to outduel him in this one.
He's been someone to watch the last few years for me, for sure. I mean, he's electric, and the way he takes the mound is pretty admirable. So, I mean, just being able to match up against him and go toe-to-toe is pretty special. It's truly amazing to be up here with this team. They've been a really fun team to watch down in Gwinnett, at least for the last month. And I mean, hopefully to get up here and contribute to some wins is pretty special.
You can go out there one day and it feels completely like me. I felt like I was doing the same stuff I was doing against the Cardinals, but completely different results. Let's back to the drawing board tomorrow and start working on my mechanics more and get the ball for another 5 days.
Atlanta didn't just win Tuesday night. The Braves showed in a big way on Thursday afternoon that they are not going away in the National League East division race. Right-hander Julio Teheran had his best game of the season as Atlanta pounded the Mets 11-0 at Citi Field. The Braves not only swept the 3-game series, but they have won 7 of their last 8 games and strengthened their hold on first place in the NL East with a 1.5 lead over the Amazons. Relegated to the bullpen, Matt Harvey was still disastrous, but the Mets are at least with some good news with starter Jacob deGrom, who despite some elbow issues has no ligament damage and appears on track to make his next start for the Mets. The Mets will welcome the Rockies to Flushing this weekend. Nearly 7 months ago, the New York Yankees were celebrating beating the Cleveland Indians in Game 5 of the American League Division Series. This time, the stakes will not be nearly as high, and the winner will be merely shaking hands on the field following the final out tonight at the ballpark. The Indians and Yankees got together, they will get together for the first time since that postseason series, starting a 3-game set tonight at Yankee Stadium. Tonight is Aaron Judge bobblehead night, Jedi bobblehead night at the ballpark. Fans are encouraged to head out to the ballpark early. If you haven't been keeping tabs on the Yankees, the Bronx Bombers have been hotter than Thursday's weather, like scorching hot. You could argue that this is baseball's best team. No offense is deeper, no bullpen is better. 2 weeks ago, the Yankees were 7.5 games out of first place in the AL East at 9-9. Those Yanks were far from great. Meanwhile, the Red Sox were flying high out of the gate at 17-2. Since then, the Pinstripers have won 12 of 13 beginning April 21st with a 9-game winning streak before a Monday night loss to the Astros in Houston. They shook that one off and won the next 3 at Minute Maid Park, where they were 0-4 in last season's AL Championship Series. At one point, the Yankees held the Astros scoreless for 28 consecutive innings. The Astros broke that streak with 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th yesterday and took a 2-run lead into the 9th, but not so fast. The Yanks won again, rallying for 3 runs and a 6-5 victory. So they return to Yankee Stadium for a 9-game homestand against the Indians, those Boston Red Sox, and the Oakland A's. While the Yanks have knocked off 6.5 games off the Red Sox lead, Boston at 22-9 leads the AL East by 1 game after losing to the Texas Rangers on Thursday night in Arlington. More nuggets of goodness on the Yankees' hot streak in today's C-List, so stay tuned. Time for some big hitters from around the world of sports in the MLS. Big weekend for NYCFC and the Red Bull fans here in the Bronx. The New York Derby heats up again Saturday afternoon, and this might be the most anticipated crosstown clash yet, with both New York City FC and New York, the Red Bulls, sporting young, dynamic, deep squads. After losing the first 4 matches against the Red Bulls, NYCFC has won 3 of the last 5. The draw last August was the first in the rivalry's history in league play. From the NBA hardwood, the New York Knicks have found their next head coach. On Thursday, the franchise completed what they hope is the first step in the process of returning to relevance by hiring David Fizdale as their new head coach. The Knicks have had 11 different coaches since the 2001-02 season, have won just one playoff series in that span, and have left a loyal fan base very frustrated. With Fizdale in place, the club will turn its attention to building a young core centered around injured all-star Kristaps Porzingis. Fizdale was most recently the head coach at Memphis, but his time in Miami as an assistant appears to be something the orange and blue liked because of Fizdale's relationship with LeBron James. The Knicks could be hoping his presence helps the team recruit James in free agency. That would be the equivalent of staring down the length of the field in football with 1 second to go on 4th down. Moving right along, the 144th running of the Kentucky Derby is Saturday, Cinco de Mayo. Coverage begins at 2:30 p.m. on NBC. Post time is 6:46 p.m. I like the favorite Justify, but Noble Indy could be a sleeper. The NBA playoffs roll on, and LeBron James has been at the center of it. James had an explosive Game 2 as he scored 43 points and tied his playoff career high with 14 assists in the Cleveland Cavaliers' 128-110 victory over the Toronto Raptors on Thursday night to take a 2-0 series lead in that Eastern Conference semifinal series. James was masterful in eliminating Indiana in 7 games in the previous series. Boston leads Philly in the other Eastern series, while Houston and Utah are tied at a game apiece out west, and Golden State holds a 2-0 series lead over New Orleans. In motorsport, Danica Patrick is gearing up for the Indy 500 later this month. Patrick made some headlines this week with a comment about how much more difficult driving an Indy car is than driving a stock car in NASCAR. Patrick will be driving for Ed Carpenter Racing in this month's Indy 500, and she's spending the early days getting reaccustomed to the faster, sleeker, open-wheel cars. She hit 220 miles per hour on Wednesday, well above any mark a stock car could drive. Major League Baseball intends to announce next week that the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox will be playing 2 games at London's Olympic Stadium in June next year. The 2019 games are set for June 29th to the 30th. These will be the first regular season MLB games in Europe. The Red Sox will be the home team for both games. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a couple of notes on those surging Yankees. The Bronx Bombers are a complete team. Their rotation is plenty good enough with Luis Severino, CC Sabathia, and Masahiro Tanaka leading the way. During this 12-1 stretch, the Yankees' rotation is 7-1 with a 2.09 ERA. The bullpen is scary good, folks. Yankee relievers have a .91 ERA during this hot streak. And the back end, Dellin Betances, David Robertson, and Aroldis Chapman have been stellar. 14 innings, 0 earned runs, 7 hits, 5 walks, 24 strikeouts. Mixed in the beginning of Giancarlo Stanton finding his swing at the plate, Aaron Judge showing no signs of slowing down, and rookies Gleyber Torres and Miguel Andujar showing that they are for real, and the Yanks look destined for more this October. First baseman Greg Bird is just about ready for live at-bats, according to manager Aaron Boone. The lefty-hitting Bird is due to play an extended spring training as early as Monday at Tampa, Florida, where he's been completing his rehab from right ankle surgery. Bird remains in the original 6 to 8 week time frame for his return, which would be sometime later this month. Sure, lefty Jordan Montgomery's elbow injury is a significant issue, but there are tons of big arms in the minors, most notably lefty Justice Sheffield, who was just promoted to AAA. Expect the Bombers to be players this July for whatever they need at the trade deadline. Detroit Tigers right-hander Michael Fulmer is believed to be on the Yankees' radar. Major League Baseball, the Yankees should be on your radar. They are for real. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.